Okay, good morning everybody. Good morning for Cakal, good morning for Dedikasi, and good morning for Hema. So I am your English teacher for this year. So some of you have known me as Miss, some of you have known me as Madam. So I don't mind how you're going to call me, but please bear in mind once if I say I want you to hand in your work to me, so you have to hand in your work to me. So no compromise. Okay, no compromise. So you have known me. So for those of you who still don't know me yet, you just go and ask your friends. We will have more time to get to know each other once you are back in school. All right. Okay, so I'm going to skip the introduction part, and we are going to look at what we are going to study today. So basically you are going to look at the first chapter of Form 4 English language. Okay. All right. So for today we are going to look at how you are going to communicate with each other. All right. So uh, how do you communicate with family and friends? Okay, how you are going to communicate with family and friends. So if you look at the video now, okay, so I have prepared 5 blanks. So you are going to get your foolscap paper. You're going to get your foolscap paper, and you are going to draw the exact bubble map. Okay, draw the exact bubble map in your foolscap paper, and you are going to list down 5 ways, okay, 5 ways you communicate with your family and friends. Okay, so okay, I'm going to explain again. You are going to get a foolscap paper, draw the exact bubble map. So I am not going to ask for much. Okay, I am not going to ask for much. You are going to give me 5 ways how you communicate with your family and friends. Okay, bagaimanakah 5 cara kamu berkomunikasi dengan keluarga kamu dan juga rakan-rakan kamu. So you are okay. I am going to give you 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes for you to complete the bubble map given. Okay, 5 minutes from now. Okay, so if you think that it is very difficult for you to think of a way on how do you communicate with your family and friends, okay, just think of ways. How do you talk? How do you arrange on how to meet with each other? Say for example, you are here in Bintulu, and you know that you cannot go and meet your grandparents back in Kampong. So how do you communicate? Okay, how do you send news? How do you get to know what happened to your grandparents in Kampong there without going to go and visit them? Okay, so think of ways how you go and send news without having to ride cars or go on the bus. All right, okay. So try to complete these mind maps, okay, within the time frame given. Alright, okay, so now let's check the answers that you have got for this one. So if you happen to have the same answer with whatever is shown in this video later on, so just put a small tick on your mind map, and if you happen not to have anything, please complete your mind map using red pens. Alright, okay, so let's look at ways on how we communicate with our family and friends. Alright, so as you all know, you are not living in an era where you have to use smoke or pigeons to go and send news. Alright, so you are living in an era where everything is just at the tip of your finger. Alright, so at the tip of your finger means, okay, so if you look at your hands, at the tip of your finger means that everything is possible, okay, and everything is within reach, okay, dalam jangkauan kamu. Alright, so if you look, okay, so the first way is to use WhatsApp. Okay, WhatsApp. That is the easiest answer if you can think of. Everybody has a handphone. Okay, so in your handphone, you go and send WhatsApp messages to your friends. Okay, asking for the news, and you go and ask your friends the swab test has the swab test result come out. Okay, say for example. All right, so if you ever went to the went to do the uh, if you ever gone to do the swab test, so say for example you go with your friends, and then after that you came back from swab test and you cannot go out from your house anymore because you don't know whether the result turns out positive or negative. So what you can do, you send WhatsApp messages. So other than WhatsApp messages, you can go and also send WeChat messages. So this is okay, these two methods are among the popular ones among teenagers, among the young teenagers, among people like you, because these apps, they feature fancy stickers that you can use. All right, or you can have rooms where you can have like chat with more people. All right, okay, other than WhatsApp and WeChat, you also use Facebook messages. Okay, Facebook messages. So you have Facebook walls, and at the same time you also have Facebook messages where you can go and personal message people. You go and personal message your family members, asking your brothers and sisters who are far away from you. Okay, or you go and ask your friends. how are things in Miri, how are things in Kuching. Okay, all right. So you drop Facebook messages. Other than that, you can also make phone calls. You have your handphone. What? Why? It wouldn't be difficult for you to just press the numbers and go and call people. Say for example, you are in school and suddenly you fell sick. You have stomachache. So what do? You don't have your handphone. What you can do? You have spare shillings. You just go and walk to the public phone and dial your parents' number. So that is how you call. That is how you communicate with your parents. That is how you tell your parents that you are sick when you are in school. Or okay, or you do video calls. Okay, so you miss your friends. You cannot go out from the house. You cannot go out from the house. So you make video calls with your friends. Or you miss your grandparents in the village. You want to see them. Okay, you want to ask them how they are doing. So you make video calls to your grandparents. Alright. Okay, so these are among the methods that you can use to communicate with your family and friends. Okay, so if you happen to have other methods, okay, if you happen to have other methods other than the listed ones, you can always drop your answer. Okay, you can always drop your answers in the WhatsApp group, and then we can discuss about it together. All right, so I am open to listening to any of your other answers. It doesn't mean here, okay, class, please be reminded that it doesn't mean that whatever answer I show you in this video is the absolute answer. Okay, bukan jawapan muktamad. Okay, please be remember. Okay, please remember and please be reminded that I don't practice authoritarian. I don't practice dictatorship. Bermaksud di sini, if I if I say A is the answer and you think A is not the answer, we can always discuss. Okay, I am open for discussion. Kalau kamu rasa jawapan saya salah, jawapan kamu betul, kamu boleh drop message dalam WhatsApp and we can discuss about it together as a whole class. Alright, so if you happen to have answers other than the 5 given ones, you can always drop in the WhatsApp group and we can discuss about it. Okay, so if your answer is correct, we can always add in, okay, we can always add on to your bubble map. And if your answer happens to be not correct, it's okay, we can always learn from mistakes. Okay, mistakes are meant, okay, mistakes are meant for you to learn. Okay, because without learning you will not know whether your answer is correct or not. Okay, so sekiranya ada jawapan lain selain daripada 5 ini, okay, just drop your answer, kita boleh bincang, tidak ada masalah. Alright. Okay, so okay, you are going to look at 5 different pictures after this. Okay, you are going to look at 5 different pictures. Okay, the question here, which of the means of communication below you most prefer? Okay, apakah cara berkomunikasi, okay, daripada yang gambar di bawah yang kamu paling suka? Alright, so the first mean of communication is the first mean of communication is email. Okay, email. Okay, so email, you type in email on the internet and after that you send to the receiver. Alright, so email is also known as electronic letters. Okay, next one is phones. Okay, phone calls. Okay, which one is, okay, phone calls, all you have to do is just press the number and then you can talk to the person at the other end already. Okay. Next one is letters. So as opposed to number one, okay, look, the first picture is electronic, the second one is you have to write the letter. Okay, some people they like it because they like the feel of handwriting on the paper. Some people think that letter writing is very tiring because you have to do the writing. Okay, some people they like letter because they want to be because they like feel the they like the old school feeling, means that they want to cherish. Okay, mereka sangat suka benda yang tidak terlampau elektronik. Okay, some people they like email. Kenapa? Sebab dia nak cepat. Alright. Okay, postcards. Okay, postcards. Some people they like postcards because they have colorful pictures. Okay, and the fifth picture is video call. Okay, some people they like video calls. Some people they don't. Why they don't like video call? Because they are shy. Ada orang dia malu. Alright. Okay, so which of the means of communication below you most prefer? So after this, you are going to write two sentences. Number one is which one? Which of the means of communication you prefer, you like most? Okay, means that you need to start your sentence with I like, and then another one is as opposed to the first sentence, which means I don't like, right? So if you look at the the example here given here is I prefer communicating. Okay, I prefer communicating. So prefer here means like. Okay, so this one is like. So is okay, so you can choose either you want to use prefer or you want to use like. Okay, so I prefer or I like communicating by video calls because I can see the faces of my friends and my family. Okay, saya suka berhubung dengan menggunakan video call kerana saya boleh melihat muka atau wajah kawan-kawan dan juga ahli keluarga saya. So this is if you write for prefer. If you write for, okay, the opposite is I don't like communicating. Okay, I don't like communicating using letters. Okay, because it is very outdated. Okay, outdated, lapuk. Furthermore, we don't use letters anymore. Okay, so saya tidak suka berkomunikasi menggunakan surat kerana ianya sangat lapuk. Okay, very outdated, sangat lapuk. Furthermore, tambahan pula, we don't use letters anymore. Kita sudah tidak menggunakan surat. Okay, so if we don't use letters anymore, what do you think we use now to replace the letters? Okay, what do you think we use now to replace the letters? So, what do you think the answer would be? If you know the answer, please drop the answer in the WhatsApp. Alright? Okay, so now in your paper, you are going to write your own sentences. Okay, you are going to write your own sentences. Okay, using these two sentences. Okay, I am not going to ask for much. Okay, so just one sentence each. Okay, one sentence each. All right, so you are going to have 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes for you to complete these two sentences. Okay, your 5 minutes starts now. Okay, for the courses behind here, okay, so this one, this part, and also this part, okay, this part and also this part, okay. If you think that it is difficult for you to come up with reasons, okay, if you think that it's difficult for you to come up with reasons, try to use adjectives, okay. Say for example, just now, I prefer communicating by video calls because, okay, what do you think of the adjectives that can relate to video calls? Okay, same also goes for this one. I don't like communicating using letters because, okay, think of an adjective related to letters. Okay, think of an adjective related to letters. Okay, so in a way it will make your work, it will make your sentence construction easier. Okay, try to, okay, it will make your excuses, okay, easier for you to think. Okay, always use adjectives. All right, okay, so that is okay, so that was okay on what do you understand about communication. All right, okay, so now let's look at the next part of our lesson for today. Okay, so for today we are going to look at social networking versus social network. So what are the differences between social networking versus and also social network? Okay, so class, please try not to get confused because, okay, because if you come back to school later on, okay, there will be, okay, exams, okay, questions in the exam paper, okay, that ask you, okay, differences between social networking and also social network. So before we move on further, okay, so I want you to understand first, okay, to understand first what is social networking and also what is social network. Right, so social networking is the verb, okay, so what you do. Okay, so if you look in the picture, all right, so these people are social networking. Okay, it means here that you are building network, okay, with another people, another person from maybe in the same continent or different continent, okay, using apps, okay, using apps. So the act of, okay, the act of communicating with people, okay, using the app is called social networking. Okay, so the act is social networking. What about social network? Social network is the app itself, okay, the app itself. All right, so these are the examples of social network apps that you have been using all this while. Okay, say for example you have been using Facebook, Instagram, okay, Snapchat, Twitter. So these are called social networks, okay, social networks. So these social network means these are the bridge, okay, for people, use to reach, okay, to communicate with one another. Okay, so the act of communicating is called social networking. People social networking using what? Social network apps. Okay, so the app that you use for social networking is social network. Okay, social network. All right. Okay. So you're going to look at four different people. Okay, four different people. So the first one is Alicia. So if you read, okay, so we are going to read this text together. Okay, so these four people are expressing their opinions, okay, pendapat, alright, about social networking sites, whether it is good or whether it is positive or is it negative. So we are going to read this together. So you're going to drop your answers later on in the WhatsApp group, whether this review, okay, this review is a positive review or a negative review. So the first one is Alicia. So Alicia says, I spend a lot of my free time on excuse me, on social networking sites. They are great for keeping in touch with my mates and finding old friends too. The other day, I found a school friend from primary school. I was so pleased to hear her news. Social networking sites are also useful for people helping people out. I saw on a friend's page that one of his friends needed a driving instructor. My uncle is a driving instructor and he's on the same social networking site. I introduced them and they were both happy. My parents complained that playing online games with friends is a waste of time, but I totally disagree. You see, I'm really into trivia games, but also word games and chess, which I find amusing and educational. So I can't see any drawback there. Alright, so this is Alicia's opinion on social networking sites. Alright, so now I want you to think and see and reread, okay, Alicia's opinion, whether it's a positive opinion or positive review or a negative review. So in the WhatsApp later on, you just drop a positive or negative, or you can just type the name Alicia, okay, in the bracket positive or negative. Alright, so that is for Alicia. Now let's look at the second person. Okay, so that was Alicia. And now we are looking at Adrian's. Okay, we are looking at Adrian's review on social networking sites. Okay, so Adrian says, I don't think social networking sites are for me. I really don't like having too much information about myself out there on the web. I mean, anyone could find my email and start sending me spam or viruses. There's also cyberbullying, which can be very nasty. A friend of mine had to stop using a social networking site last month because someone was constantly saying horrible things about her. Also, someone could pretend to be you and commit crimes. Imagine that. Okay, so same thing. Try and reread Adrian's social networking sites review, and you are going to tell me, okay, in the WhatsApp group whether Adrian's review is a positive review or a negative review. Okay, so now let's look at the third person, which is Ryan. Okay, so Ryan says, I'm not a big social networking site user, to be honest. I can't understand why people have to update their status all the time. I don't want to know what someone is buying at a supermarket or how long have they been waiting in traffic. What do I care? But I find it useful for events. we're putting on a school play at the end of the year, and using a social networking site makes it a lot easier. We're organizing the tickets these days. It really helps. We've got our own page to advertise the school play, and when it's over, we'll upload photos and videos of the highlights. Okay, same also. Think, reread, and see. Okay, and see whether Ryan's review is a positive review or a negative review. And to the next person, Emma. Okay, so Emma says, I'm a member of a social networking site, but I'm thinking about deactivating it. For one thing, it's taking up too much of my time. I play virtual games, chat with loads of people, and I have hundreds of friends. The more time I spend on social networking sites, the less time I have for my real life. I think the final straw is my mom. She is a member of the same social networking site as me, and I made the mistake of making her one of my friends. She hasn't lost touch with her old schoolmates, and she really enjoys being online. But now she tends to follow my every move. It's so embarrassing. I can't do anything without her knowing. Okay, so again, reread Emma's review and drop in the WhatsApp group your answer whether Emma is a positive Emma gives a positive review or a negative review. Okay, now so you in your own time you are going to replay this video and find the words in the text shown earlier, and you are going to find the okay find the words based on the text shown earlier, and the meanings are given to you here. So number one, disadvantage. You're going to find the meaning, which word in the text brings the meaning of disadvantage. Number two, making something stop. Making something stop. Number three, give the most recent information. Give the most recent information. Number four, the best part of something. The best part of something. Number five, unpleasant. Unpleasant. And number six, continuously. Continuously. All right, so you are going to go through the text again, and you are going to find the words which brings these listed meanings. Go through the text, find the words in the text based on the meanings listed to you here. All right, so this one later you are going to copy down the words, the meanings here, and then also later on you write your answer in the foolscape. So it's going to be in the same paper where you have drawn your bubble map earlier. So you're going to do this in the foolscape paper. Alright, so for the next task is you're going to give the names of the people who mentions. So you're going to look at who mentioned that he or she has been using social networking sites a bit too much. Who mentioned, among those four review giver, who mentions that he or she has been using social networking sites a bit too much. Who mentions helping friends through a social networking site. Who mentions helping friends through a social networking site. Who mentions that some personal information on social networking sites is useless. Who mentioned that some personal information on social networking sites is useless. You're going to look back at those four and name them in the question here. Okay. Number 4. Who mentioned the dangers of using social networking sites? Okay. Who mentions the dangers of using social networking sites? Is it Alicia? Is it Adrian? Is it Ryan? Or is it, who was the last one just now? Alright. Okay. Question number 5. Who mentions organizing an event at school? Okay. Who mentions organizing an event at school? Who mentions how a family member might make him or her stop using a social networking site? Okay. Who mentions how a family member might make him or her stop using a social networking site? And the last question, who mentions finding an old friend? Okay, who mentions finding an old friend? Okay, same also together with the word that you need to find in the text. So this one also need to be done in the foolscap paper. Okay, so you need to write the question and also the answer in your foolscap paper. All right. Okay, so you are going to, okay, after this I am going to drop you a link, okay, a Google form link, and you are going to take, okay, write your name there, okay, as your attendance, and then after that you're going to post me your answers in the Google form link that I am going to give you later on. All right. Okay, so you need to give, okay, you need to fill in the Google form link, or else your attendance will not be considered as valid. Alright, so you send me your answer, okay, from there I will take your attendance. So please make sure to post your answer in the Google form link. Alright, okay, for Chakal, for Dedicacy, for Hema. So make sure, okay, to do it by today. Okay, I am going to open the link until 12 noon only. Alright, I am going to open the link until 12 noon only. So whoever is late, okay, whoever is late, you need to give me your reason why you were late for my class today. Alright, okay, so anything, okay, you are going, okay, so if there is anything other than the ones that I have given you from this video, you just, okay, feel free to drop the message in the WhatsApp group. Or if you feel that you are shy, okay, if you feel that you are shy and you don't want to drop messages in the group, you can always, okay, you can always personal message me. Okay, if there's any question, please feel free to personal message me, and please remember to fill in the Google form link. All right.